Uh, I was so excited this morning because the video that I'm going to make today is just the food is so delicious. Even if you weren't a carnivore, you would want this. Believe it or not. And let me set this down. It uses this as part of the ingredients needed to make it. You want to see what that is? It is rock salt. The very thing that we use up here in the northern United States to melt ice off our driveway. Okay, folks, Carnivore Ron here. I was so excited this morning to make this. This is going to be a meal prep. Actually, it's not really a meal prep, but it's a carnivore special. What I'm going to be making today is technically not carnivore. It's more keto because it's only about maybe 85% carnivore ingredients, and maybe a little more than 85%. What I'm going to use is I am making ice cream. I'm getting so excited. This is the second time I've done this, but I have some heavy whipping cream, 2 cups of half and half, and of course my handy allulose, and I'm going to make vanilla, so I have vanilla extract. All right, so first what we're going to do is start out with my measuring bowl, which I really don't need to measure. This stuff's already measured for me pretty much. I'm going to open the heavy whipping cream. Yes. And we are going to pour the entire ingredients of this heavy whipping cream into the bowl, because the recipe calls for 4 cups, but I like it as creamy as possible, and actually ends up, this is exactly 4 cups. It's getting more out there. We have 4 cups according to the measure anyway, but yeah. Okay. And so we're done with that. Now we'll add the half and half. In you go. All of it. So we have 6 cups. And we're done with that. Now, vanilla. I was thinking about making chocolate. You just need a little bit of it, just enough for flavor. That should be sufficient. And the last thing we need is, now the recipe calls for 2 1/4 cups of sugar. Allulose is 70% less sweet, or 30% less sweet, excuse me. And so I should use 3 cups. Now this is 1/3 of a cup measure here. So that's 1/3. A little bit less than 1/3. It's a little bit less than 1/3, so yeah, a little bit more. That's 1 cup. It's a lot of allulose, but I'm going to make it a little less sweet. The last time I made it, I thought it was too sweet. So I'm going to make, that's still less than 2 cups. I'm going to make it just 2 cups. And I used a good portion of my allulose that I had here. That's okay. Okay, we're done with that. And we're done with the measuring utensil. And, well, you know what? I think I gotta get these pans out of the way. My head's hitting them. You guys are gonna laugh when you see how unprepared this video was. So I'm gonna mix this together just to give it a little bit of a head start. I'll get out a towel here. Okay, so this is ready. This is ready. I do need one more thing that I put in the fridge or in the freezer. Is the mixing bowl for this device. Now you can do this without one of these. You can use a big bowl and then a smaller bowl and then put the ice around it. And I put this in the freezer, so it's nice and cold already. So we're just going to pour this all in here. And it usually fills this up to about half capacity. And we're just going to let that all drip in there. It's going to be about 2 weeks before I do this again, at least. Okay, I'm just going to place that in there and put the lid on with the mixing blades made out of plastic. Get that on correctly. Okay, I'm going to put the electric mixing motor on here, have it so it drops into that slot, and latch it in. And then I'm going to reach around back here and I'm going to plug it in. There's an outlet here. I'm going to unplug my wife's coffee maker. And plug this in. And away it goes. It's already mixing. So now what do? Is we start putting ice around the outside. And we use this awful dirty rock salt to add with the ice to make it melt quicker. So here we go. All right. Now this takes about 4 or 5 trips here, but okay. Then we're going to put some rock salt in here. Interesting. I'm going to crush some of this. Get back to regular. Put this in. some more rock salt. Now, when I was a young boy in the town that I grew up, we used to have a neighborhood ice cream party, and we would make this stuff. Of course, they would go buy. This is before the days of the ice maker in the door and modern conveniences that we have. And so we would be out there. They would have the kids all banging on a big block of ice to break it into little chunks of ice. Today I have an ice maker in the door. A little bit more ice in here. I'm just going to come back every so often and check on this. Make sure that this hasn't melted down too much. It takes about a half an hour to get what you would call soft serve ice cream. And after that, I pour it into a container and let it go into the freezer. I did have to add a little bit of ice in the last half an hour. And yeah, it's basically soft serve ice cream, which is what you predict. I'm going to pull it out of the ice here. And actually, what I think I need to do is put down, because this thing is wet. I set it down here, and looks pretty good. Oh yeah. Okay. First, I'm going to take the blades out, and I'm going to set it in this bowl here. Let me tilt this down so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. This is awesome. Oh my. Actually, I'm going to put my small bowl here so that, because I'm just going to, this will be my sample. This is basically like soft serve ice cream. What I do is I put this, then the rest of the mixture into the freezer, and I leave it there until I want some ice cream. Probably takes really about a day to really harden up like regular ice cream that you'd buy in the store. It's actually right there is enough for me to sample. More than enough, actually. I'm glad I ate a small breakfast this morning. This is mostly fat, mostly animal fat. So it's very, has a lot of calories in it. And okay, I know what you're waiting for. I'm just going to put it in here. Cream. I like this better than the last batch. It's less sweet. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, that is good. Let's see if this will pour. I think it's a little bit too hard just to pour out. It is. There we go. Let's see how if that's too much for this container. Nope, I think it's just about right, actually. And we still have plenty left. So, container number 2. Stuff at the bottom is harder, probably because it was sitting in all the melted ice there. I'm mixing it here, loosening it up a little bit. Now I'm going to tell you something. This actually tastes better than any ice cream that you can buy in the store. It's a lot healthier for you. It's creamier. There's no preservatives in it other than what maybe the processing of the heavy cream might have in it, which I didn't read the label on that particular bottle. I should have, but usually this stuff comes as pretty straightforward, I think. But again, everybody has their opinion about things, and maybe this is something you shouldn't have. I don't know. But that will be your call. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I'm doing. This is not medical or dietary advice. Merely, yeah, there's a little bit in there, but it's okay. I'm going to take and clean that. This is what melted off of the other. So I'm going to go and I am going to put lids on this and pop this in the freezer. And now I have ice cream. Okay, everybody, I'm just going to finish my dish of ice cream here before it melts. And then I guess that's all I had to say. Look, you guys, if you're in a bad situation, do what you can to improve it or get out. Make the best that you can today. Try to be happy. And that is my advice, to really try and be happy today, because today's not going to come again. Okay? Take it from a 70-year-old that has more days behind him than ahead, I believe. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Wouldn't that be nice if I lived to be 142? I don't think I'm going to make it that long. Very few people do. I haven't had any ancestors that made it that long. But anyway, if you follow my recipe and have some carnivore ice cream or ketovore ice cream, you enjoy the day. I sure am. Oh, this is heaven.